Southwest Detroit Business Association. On behalf of the organization, I want to thank you all for joining us today to celebrate the grand opening of the LaJoya Gardens. This is such an exciting moment for our community, and I'm honored to welcome each and every one of you to this special milestone. LaJoya Gardens is so much more than just a building. It's a symbol of resilience, vision, and collaboration that makes Southwest Detroit such a special place. What was once a vacant lot is now a vibrant hub of opportunity with 53 new residential units, 42 of which are affordable housing and retail spaces that not only strengthen our local economy, but also reflect the rich culture of our neighborhood. This incredible project would not have been possible without the dedication and collaboration of our amazing partners. A special thank you to Sinair Solutions, our co-developer for LaJoya Gardens, whose leadership and expertise was essential in bringing LaJoya Gardens to life, along with Invest Detroit, the City of Detroit, MISHDA, the Detroit Housing Commission, and also many others who contributed to this development. Thank you. Together, we've turned an empty block into a space where families can thrive, small businesses can grow, and neighbors can come together. At the Southwest Detroit Business Association, we're especially proud of how this project was shaped by the community itself. More than 200 residents shared their ideas and input to ensure that LaJoya Gardens truly reflects the needs, culture, and aspirations of our beloved Southwest Detroit. Their voices are the heart of this project, and their involvement made all of the difference. The name LaJoya means jewel in Spanish, and it couldn't be more fitting. This development is truly a jewel in our neighborhood, a shining example of what's possible when we come together for a shared vision and purpose. To our partners, funders, and community members, thank you for believing in this project and helping make this vision a reality. We're so excited about the opportunities LaJoya Gardens will bring to Southwest Detroit and the lasting impact that it will have for years and years to come. Welcome, and let's celebrate this incredible accomplishment together. To start our program, I'd like to invite up Chaplain Mike Duggan from the Detroit Police Department, 4th Precinct, the Detroit Police Chaplain Corps, and to offer our invocation. Chaplain?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Let's have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we gather today with grateful hearts to celebrate the grand opening of LaJoya Gardens. We ask, oh God, that your presence and favor be felt within these apartment walls and guide all who live, work, and visit here with wisdom, integrity, and a spirit of collaboration. Father, we pray that you bless the residents who will be living in these beautiful spaces, grant them good health and safety. May it be peace, may it be a place of peace, joy, and prosperity. May this building be a place of innovation and creativity with those who fill the retail spaces, and may they build positive relationships with both the residents and the community. May this building be a source of economic growth and opportunity for this neighborhood and be a catalyst for all the community. God, we commit this space right now to you, Lord, and ask for you to continue protection and blessings upon it. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Duggan, for those thoughtful and inspiring words to begin our celebration. It is now my pleasure to introduce someone whose leadership and commitment continue to make a meaningful impact in Southwest Detroit. As President and CEO of the Southwest Detroit Business Association, Laura Chavez Wierden works tirelessly to support our members, advocate for local businesses, and uplift the neighborhood that she has always called home. Her work reflects her deep love for this community and her dedication to ensuring its ongoing growth and success. please join me in welcoming Laura to the lectern.
Thank you so much. It gives me great joy to stand here before you and say, bienvenidos to La Joya Gardens. Obviously, we stand in Mexican Town Main Street, and this is truly an honor to be here. This moment has been 10 years in the making, a journey that began back in 2015 with acquisition of this land. Today, we celebrate incredible impact this development will have on the community that we all love so deeply. La Joya Gardens, which means the jewel, is more than just a name. It symbolizes the beauty, resilience, brilliance of Southwest Detroit. This place reflects a collective commitment to ensure that everyone in the neighborhood has access to safe, affordable housing and spaces where connection and creativity will continue to flourish. Bringing La Joya Gardens to life began being a true labor of love and collaboration. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the many partners that made this possible. Scenario Solutions, our co-developer in this project, the City of Detroit, Invest Detroit, MISTA, Detroit Housing Commission, PNC Bank, Flagstar Bank, and the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, among others. Your belief in this vision and your tireless efforts have been instrumental in making today a reality. I would be remiss if I didn't mention all of the community engagement that happened for this project, because without that community engagement, we wouldn't even have the name of La Joya Gardens. So it is truly important for us to always recognize the community engagement that happened as well. I also want to take a very, very nice moment to honor our very own Greg Mangan. He's very, very shy. But if you know Greg, you know that he has spearheaded this project on our behalf. On behalf of this organization, Greg has worked tirelessly through years of fostering partnerships, navigating challenges, and ensuring this project stayed on track. Greg, your dedication and expertise is invaluable. Thank you for all of your hard work. One of the most exciting features here in La Joya Gardens is a cooperative kitchen, which we're actually standing in this space. The cafe space is a community space that will be created right here. This space will serve as the heart of the community, a hub where neighbors can gather, share ideas, and build meaningful relationships. Today, we launched a crowdfunding campaign to raise $45,000 by March 28th. If we meet this goal, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation Public Spaces, Public Places program will match it dollar for dollar. This initiative will help us complete the vibrant space anchored by the first retailer, Cafe Clark, a dream brought to life by lifelong locals, Melissa Hernandez and Eduardo Salas, who are actually here today. Cafe Clark will provide customers with warm, inviting space for coffee, meals, and community. It's more than just a cafe. It's a reflection of entrepreneurial spirit and cultural richness that make us so different in Southwest Detroit. There are flyers with QR codes and signages around, so if you feel the urge to donate, please, we encourage you to do so. We want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to go to the second floor and enjoy refreshments that will be provided by Clark Cafe as well, or Cafe Clark upstairs on the second floor. We encourage you to also take tours of La Joya Gardens while you are here at the end of the program. La Joya Gardens is also about creating opportunities for local entrepreneurs. Through the accelerated spaces within the development, the Southwest Detroit Business Association is partnering with Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation to support entrepreneurs from the Fantasma market. As they transition from pop-up to permanent storefronts on our Mexican Town Main Street along West Vernor Highway. This accelerator space will allow entrepreneurs to test their business models, gain real-world experience, and prepare for sustainable success. When the time comes, the Southwest Detroit Business Association will be here to provide technical assistance and real estate advocacy to help them to continue to thrive. This project is a testament to what we can accomplish when we come together with a shared vision. La Joya Gardens is not just a building, it's a beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience, and a space where dreams are rooted and can flourish. To all of you who have supported this effort, gracias, thank you for for your contributions, partnership, and belief in the potential of Southwest Detroit. To our community, this is your space, your Hoya, La Joya Gardens, and I can't wait to see what we can create and achieve here together. After the ceremony is over, we do encourage you to take a tour of La Joya Gardens, see some of our apartments, and see our community amenities. Let's continue to build a future that honors our past and embodies the boldness of our future. Now I'd like to introduce someone whose dedication and partnership have been instrumental in bringing La Joya Gardens to life. Please join me in welcoming Chris Laurent, President of Scenair Solutions, to share a few words. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity. So I want to recognize a couple people. We have a lot of folks in our team at Scenair Solutions who were involved. We're part of a larger organization, Scenair, that's invested in Detroit really since our inception 32 years ago. Steve Smith works for our title company. We did title business with him. Ben Stayauer represents Scenair Equity Partners, which invested equity for the low-income housing tax credits. Ed Potus worked hand in hand with Greg Mangan. Lily Gonzalez, who some of you may know, came with us as part of a fellowship through Wayne State University in the city of Detroit, really to explore how we can work better with community. John Cipriano did yeoman's work sort of in the tail end of closing the development. Our friends from Ethos Development and Clark Hill, folks are here from O'Brien Construction, Dave Vivio, Tim Connor. I started to think when I rattled off the list about the word community, and there are two parts of that. One is common, right? One is coming together, and the other is unity. And so the power that we have when we work together is tremendous for us. There are a lot of folks who aren't in the room. Laura talked about Greg Mangan, who's sort of been the lifeblood of this. And one of the things I've found in being in this business for over 30 years is it's often the people who may seem like their contributions are the simplest that mean the most. So if you had any role, you came to a community meeting, you came to a neighborhood meeting, you emphasized, you cheered somebody on when the time looked tough. Could you stand and be recognized, please? Come on, it's more than that. So you guys are all just here for the free food. So I teach real estate at Marquette University in Milwaukee, and I started to think about what are the qualities or traits of good real estate development. And I keep coming around to the big three, and they're probably not what you think. Listening, practicing empathy, and stewardship. And the concept of stewardship really is the campsite rule. We're going to take a community and leave it better than we found it. And hopefully through our active listening and folks in the community really challenging maybe some assumptions that we had, we have a reflection of your community in a way that makes you proud. I also started thinking about the concept of a jewel. Jewels sparkle, but the real brilliance of a jewel comes from the outside. And so we're grateful to be part of such a tremendous project that reflects the community as a whole and shines that back, hopefully brighter than it came in. So thank you for that. I'll introduce our next speaker. I joked to my wife last night that I've seen Mike Duggan more in the month of January than I've seen my mom, which is probably not saying much. Mike reminds me of the type of leader I think that we see and have seen throughout this development, hires good people and gets out of the way to a person. And I think it's easy in the city sometimes to look at maybe the deficits. I certainly do that in my hometown of Madison. But the city of Detroit really we don't see this in a lot of communities, really has people showing up in a meaningful way, helping our team grow, develop, and be the best versions of themselves. And that starts with leadership. So, Mayor Mike Duggan.
Well, isn't this a special day? We started this in 2015. And those who are from this neighborhood know we put millions into rebuilding Clark Park to make it special and into the surrounding neighborhoods. The houses in this area have probably tripled in price in the last decade, probably as rapidly rising home prices any place in the city of Detroit. And if you owned a house in this neighborhood, that was really good news for you. But if you were renting in this neighborhood, that was not good news, because the financial pressures were very real. And as we looked at this happening, we knew that the new Clark Park renovations would anchor this with this huge parcel on Vernor. And we don't talk about this enough, but in a different city in the country, this development would have gone a lot differently. Some out-of-town developer would have put in expensive condos on this property with retail to support the condos and taken advantage of the park, and you would have sped up gentrification of the neighborhood. And we could have probably gotten that done in 2 or 3 years, and we wouldn't be taking 10 years later. That was a choice. In Detroit, we made a different choice. And with Julie Schneider and Rebecca and the HRD team got together with Invest Detroit and said, what if we do this right for the neighborhood, do it more slowly? And then Laura and the Southwest Business District Association and Maria Salinas and the Congress of Communities came together and said, let's do something that the neighbors have the opportunity to have input on, not just in the naming, but the design, what's going to be here. It's a lot slower to do something when you involve the community. But what it does is it prevents gentrification, and what we have are 53 new units, 42 of them affordable, one-bedroom apartments going for $540 in this neighborhood. We can keep people in this neighborhood who are being squeezed. We can allow them to stay here long term. And isn't that what we should be trying to do here? So congratulations to every single group that had a hand in it. Sinair did a terrific job. And Amy Hovey and Mishta has been a godsend on every one of these projects. Governor Whitmer has backed Amy in every one of these. But if you want to know, in other cities in the country, a project drags on 10 years, and you'll see the mayor and the council shooting each other. What's going wrong? Speed this up, et cetera. What we have in Detroit is a commitment from both of us together that if it takes longer but we get affordable housing, we're going to do it that way. And City Council was unwavering in the entire 10 years that this was the vision we were going to build to. And I'm really proud that we have two of my partners here today, Councilmember Fred Durhall, and I'll start with Council President Mary Sheffield.
Okay, good afternoon. Southwest Detroit. Excited to be here. I actually was not going to speak. I just really wanted to be here to show my support to you all. I know how hard you all work in this community, and I am proud to see the continued growth of Southwest Detroit. Let me also just say that collectively with the administration, our great mayor here in City Council, we have invested $1 billion in affordable housing over the last 5 years throughout this city. And so I am proud of the work that we have collectively done to really set a tone in Detroit that we want everyone to be included in the development of our city and to feel included in safe, quality, affordable housing in Detroit. And so I am proud to be here to lend my support to this project, to see the growth of Southwest Detroit and the work that is being done. And as the mayor mentioned, what I see today is partnerships. I see the strength of continued public-private partnerships and to also see the strength of the community's voice being a part of this. This is a win-win for everyone that is here today. I know that the community was instrumental in the vision and really designing and being a part of what they want, a part of this development. And so congratulations on the growth of this area, of this community. As we grow this great city, it's so important that everyone feels included, and I am so glad to be here to celebrate the growth of this development and what it means to this community. So congratulations, and thank you for having me.
Well, good afternoon. This is an amazing day. I am happy to be here. I know we talk about LaJoya being a jewel, but I can tell you from someone who had the opportunity to serve this community on the state level as state rep, the real jewels and gems are in this community here in Southwest Detroit. What you get to see here today is what happens when government, development, and community come together to build our city. Laura and the Southwest Detroit Business Association, the Congress of Communities, just very strong community groups here in Southwest Detroit, always push for equitable, affordable opportunity for all of their residents. And so I am happy to see this coming to fruition today. I've had the opportunity to meet with many of you just about what your hopes, your dreams for our community is. And today we are seeing that come into fruition. Yes, we have taken a great step forward for affordable housing here throughout the city of Detroit. But this project particularly is doing something that is being done across the nation, where we bring communities and build walkable communities that include retail and housing together, where folks can stay in their neighborhoods and still have the ability to enjoy the amenities and resources that they need. And with that, we take great pride in having amazing partners. I served at the Michigan State Housing Development Authority for 2 years. Was a very interesting experience, but now they have an amazing leader that is helping us as a partner continue to push Detroit forward and shape the rest of Michigan. So it is my pleasure to introduce the Director of MISTA, Ms. Amy Hovey.
I'm excited to be here. I think I was here at a groundbreaking not too long ago, and it's always fun to come back and see the finished product, and it's beautiful. Congratulations. I think a common theme that we've all heard is community, and I've been in this business a long time, about 30 years, and community development has changed. But it's really refreshing to see it done right here. Right? We had a lot of community development organizations 30 years ago that served all throughout our state, really focusing on developing community by community and with community. And it's not that way across the state so much anymore. But when I come to Detroit, more often than not, it's still that way. It's still community developing the community. And it's great to be here. You can tell with this development and the amount of people that are here celebrating the ribbon cutting today, and that this development is not just helping with affordable housing, but providing other amenities so that the entire community can take advantage of this development. I also hear perseverance, right? 10 years is a long time to work on a project. But people who are dedicated to doing it right hang in there, and they persevere and pull in all the partners that are necessary to do development like this. Development is hard, and it's got more difficult because the cost of developing housing has skyrocketed over the last few years. So we really, really are appreciative of the time that it takes to put these deals together, and working with our authority, which sometimes isn't the easiest process to get through, that we're continuing to try to work on that as well. We still have a housing shortage in our state, but we're celebrating our halfway point for our statewide housing plan. And we're almost 60,000 housing units have been developed over the last 2.5 years, which is huge. It's over halfway to our 5-year goal of 115,000 units. And I gotta say, the majority of those units are developed here in the city of Detroit. So kudos to you. Kudos to the city of Detroit, to the administration and the council for being willing to work together and invest funds and support the development of housing here in the state. Without everyone working together, we couldn't get it done. So again, thank you for having me here, and congratulations.
Thank you, Amy. Also, thank you, Mayor Duggan, Mary Sheffield, and Fred Durhall. You've all been instrumental in championing developments like this in La Joya Gardens across our city. Also, I'd like to send a special thank you to Gabriela Santiago Romero. Her continued support in the community that she's given us over the years has been instrumental. Unfortunately, she's not able to join us today, but I do like to recognize her, so thank you. It's my pleasure now to introduce Moren Hichk-Anway. Hopefully I did that right. Senior Vice President, Impact at Invest Detroit. Maureen has been a key partner in this project, ensuring that Invest Detroit's funding and community engagement efforts help bring this vision to life. Please join me in welcoming Maureen to the podium.
Thank you. Again, my name is Moren Hichk-Anway, Senior Vice President at Invest Detroit. Back in 2018, I was hosting a community meeting on behalf of Invest Detroit, and Southwest Detroit Business Association knew that SNF, or the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, was searching for a developer and wanted to be considered. So I made that introduction, and I'm so happy that they were selected because their involvement rooted this project in community from the very beginning. A grant of over $30,000 from Invest Detroit and PNC Bank enabled over 200 residents to participate in a robust engagement process that included community meetings, door-to-door surveys, and a naming contest to reflect the identity and values of Southwest Detroit. Residents were involved from the start, ensuring their perspectives guided decisions. Feedback from residents influenced green spaces, community areas, architectural design, and amenities, and so much more. The Strategic Neighborhood Fund played a crucial role in funding not just the engagement, but the construction of this project. It is a great example of the power of SNF funding. LaJoya Gardens includes 53 residential units, 42 of which are designated as affordable for individuals earning 30 to 80% of area median income. Rents for these units start at approximately $540 per month, and 11 of the market rate apartments are also included to foster an economically diverse community. Over 6,000 square feet of retail space will house local businesses promoting entrepreneurship, economic growth tailored to neighborhood needs, and the blend of affordable housing and economic opportunities creates a stable community development model. This collaboration showcased the power of partnerships between community organizations, financial institutions, and public agencies. The success of LaJoya Gardens relied on key partnerships, including Southwest Detroit Business Association, Michigan State Housing Development Authorities, community partners like Congress of Communities, Cristo Rey High School, Western International High School, First Latin American Baptist Church, Toledo Street Block Club, Harvard Farms Neighborhood Association, Mission Lift, and Southwest Detroit Environmental Vision. These collaborations supported development, outreach, engagement efforts, and most importantly, ensured this project met the unique needs of past, present, and future Southwest Detroiters. This project exemplifies the Strategic Neighborhood Fund's commitment to meaningful, long-term neighborhood reinvestment that benefits residents. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maureen, for sharing Invest Detroit's role in this project and for your commitment to empowering communities. Thank you. Next, I'd like to welcome Rebecca Leov, Associate Director of Housing Development at the City of Detroit's Housing and Revitalization Department. Rebecca has been a vital part of the city's efforts to expand affordable housing and strengthen neighborhoods like ours. Please join me in giving Rebecca a nice round of applause.
Good afternoon. So I'm honored to represent the city's Housing and Revitalization Department today, and I'm really not surprised at the crowd. I did get here a little early because I thought it might be hard to park with the number of people who have supported and worked on this project coming out to celebrate, so I'm really happy to see the packed room and all of your faces here. And I have to say, I couldn't really imagine a more perfect team to bring this development to life and this vision, starting with Southwest Detroit Business Association, such a key driver of economic development that's rooted in the community. Sinair, who is such a key partner in the development of and an investment in affordable housing in Detroit. That $1 billion that was mentioned by Council President, they've really had a huge role in that, and I'm so happy they're a part of this project. And then, of course, Invest Detroit, and it's impossible to overstate how much their vision for and commitment to the Strategic Neighborhood Fund has driven neighborhood revitalization, and I'm so happy to see it here in Southwest in this project. The development embodies so many of the principles that drive the work of the Housing and Revitalization Department, from community-driven investment to a deeply collaborative public-private partnership, repurposing of once vacant city land, mixed income, all the way from income-based rent up to market rate, mixed-use development that revitalizes a major commercial corridor. It's amazing to see all of those pieces coming together in one project here. We are so grateful for the support of Councilmember Santiago Romero and all of City Council, always for our affordable housing development. And then all the usual suspects at MSHDA, Detroit Housing Commission, Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, Federal Home Loan Bank. We couldn't do this without you, and it's great when everyone comes together hand in hand to get the projects done, because as Amy Hovey referenced, it's very difficult. Each project is hard, and the more of those, really critical components you incorporate, the bigger a challenge it is. But everyone here stayed committed for that whole decade to make sure that it got done. Because of that, there are so many city team members that I would like to thank who've been involved from sort of the initial development proposals all the way up through the final inspection. So I can't thank them all, but just a special shout out before I go to Jason Friedman, DeMarco Ansari, Terry Smith, Larry Katrinar, Mike Neal, Kevin Schranz in the Planning and Development Department, and Brian Coe in the Law Department. Thank you all. Thank you to my whole team and everyone else at the city who's been supporting us. And congratulations to the development team, to the neighborhood, and the future residents. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for your dedication creating more affordable housing options for our residents as well as our communities. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce someone who has been instrumental in advancing housing opportunities here in the city of Detroit. Arthur Jamison serves as the Executive Director of the Detroit Housing Commission, where he leads efforts to ensure access to quality, affordable housing for Detroit residents. Please join me in welcoming Arthur to the lectern.
Thanks so much for waiting, and some of you folks standing in the back, appreciate it very much. Listen, this is a special one for me because perhaps owing to the richness of the partnership here, back when there was a plan to potentially do something with this site as part of SNF, something that's been discussed, that was the part that I started on, and today I'm here for the part it ends and we open units for people. It's a beautiful process, but just again, when you hear the voices of the people who've shared their experiences already, you hear the richness of what's taken place here. Started with a planning process that brought together the community and lots of the key partners, including our developers. And we want to congratulate today Southwest Detroit Business and Sinair. And through the planning process, developing a great design for this project, which again you can see is leading the way for the city in terms of new housing design. But then layering in all the key pieces. It needs to make sure it has small businesses have an opportunity here. We need to make sure that there's affordable housing here. We need to make sure that there's workforce housing here. We need to make sure that the lowest income Detroiters, the folks that I'm the most focused on day to day, are a part of it as well. And today when we celebrate these units, and you see the excitement that's going to happen here, because this is a project we're doing in Detroit with the leadership at the council and the mayor's office that we've had, that it's going to serve everybody, but it's also going to serve 15 of the lowest income people in our community, and the most vulnerable people in our community are going to be part of what you're going to see here. So that's what comes from the richness and the time and all the different partners you've heard from today, is the knowledge that you're not only going to be helping small businesses, not only going to be representing a planning effort that's taken years to get underway. You're also going to be serving those folks, the 15 voucher supported units in this project, to be part of the future that we are seeing here in the city right now. So with that, I want to thank all the participants, elected officials who are here, and say we're just proud to be part of this and want to be part of so many more projects like this over the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur. Your partnership is very much appreciated. To close our program, I'm pleased to introduce Melina Salinas, Executive Director of Congress of Communities. Maria is a passionate advocate for Southwest Detroit and a true champion for the voices of our residents. She played an important role supporting the SDBA in its efforts to ensure this project reflects the needs and aspirations of the entire community. Please join me in welcoming Maria.
I got to follow all these people. Okay. Buenos días. ¿Cómo están? First I want to say thanks to everybody that's here that does our nonprofits, our champions, our chingonas. Mo, I want to say thank you. I know she's Maureen, whatever now. But Invest Detroit, literally saw that community engagement and resident-driven development. So I always say there's two parts of development, the brick and mortar and the resident development in brick and mortar, that residents have a voice in the development that most impacts them because it's in their community. I want to say thank you to one person that's not here, I don't think, Kathy Windler, one of my mentors, and one of the drivers and beginners of Southwest Detroit Business Association. Also, Mike Odom, he was the president at the time of the board. Without these partnerships, and of course, the mayor that actually, I've been on 5 developments, it's crazy. So a community partner in development, bringing the voice of the residents. That's special. That's like a best practice or a model that the rest of the country should look at. This development, we really did, we asked for a community benefit, and we got a $250,000 community benefit, and it went to Clark Park. We got over 200 people involved in naming it, which came up, as La Joya Gardens, the jewel. I have 20 of my chingonas, I call them my chingonas, my outreach workers, and their residents that go through my program that would actually earn $20 an hour to go out and do the door-to-door to name this project. So we're the boots on the ground. I also want to make sure that I recognize people like Belda Garza that has been in my life forever. The next part is affordable housing. How do we keep this going? We know that gentrification is here, it's coming, resident engagement more than ever. We need to make sure that we have places and spaces for our residents that have been here forever. We have something to contribute. I was born here. I used to run these neighborhoods. Back in the day I ran them a little differently, but it's organized now. So I just want to say, let's continue building on this model, this best practice, and show the country who Detroit is, because we're badasses, and we do things different. And I really do want to thank the mayor because he has been so open-minded and make sure that he created these spaces where I felt comfortable working with the brick and mortar and the development part of it and building a resident part to it, resident voice, resident engagement in development. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Maria. You always get my fire going. Yes. All right. Well, once again, I want to thank all of our speakers and partners for their thoughtful remarks and the incredible work you've done here at La Joya Gardens, our special jewel, right? And thank you to everyone who has joined us here today for this wonderful grand opening celebration. Before we wrap up, I'd like to invite you all to join us in the ribbon cutting that'll take place immediately after, followed by refreshments provided by Cafe Clark on the second floor. And please take a tour of this beautiful property to see the impact this project is going to have on this community. As we close, we're honored once again to have our Compas Ensemble provide us a special performance to play us out. Thank you all so much. And please enjoy the rest of your time here at La Joya Gardens.